that fucking ghosts are real and how to kill the ghosts, and I put like a salt circle around their bed so they don't get attacked.
Proof that we're into all this stuff. Like, we go ghost hunting all this, so our kids you could be like, receipts. Like, there's ghosts and monsters.
Yeah, you just pull out all the equipment and you're like, well, let's actually see if there's a ghost in here.
Yeah, let's prove it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
my
kind of
son,
fun.
he, in terms of spooky things, because he's so little, he's only, I mean, I guess 7 weeks this week.
Oh.
Okay, so
He's like not even really tuned into what's happening ever. But right next to his changing table, we put a picture because my husband's father was a painter and he passed away 2 years ago.
Aww.
So we just have one of his paintings up. It's like beautiful. It's the Swiss Alps and there's cows. It's gorgeous. And the way that my son like locks in on that picture, it's like he's like spiritually connected to the picture. It's really cool to see. Like he doesn't really like, I don't know, focus on things yet, but there's something about that picture that he just focuses in on. And so
that's sweet.
it's really cute. It's like a little connection.
Yeah, that's much better than Selena's story. The demon shadow.
Yeah.
I don't know what is going on in your house.
I don't know what's
There
the
really
patch they
isn't,
have
like,
here.
in
Is
my
it the
house, like,
FIFA
we know
patch?
who it
No, I
is.
think the
It's
FIFA patch is over here.
Leroy now. And
I don't know what
Leroy
kind of
was
patch they
one
have.
that built the house, and like I guess he still has family. When we were doing renovations, he was around a lot, and that was like on the main floor. And I've even been live, and people have heard it upstairs, been like, "What is that?" And I'm like, Leroy, but he's a great spirit. There was something nasty, but it really seems outside of the property because we've learned that our property was a dump. And that the Hells Angels would come out here, and this is where they would sink stuff.
Jesus.
In the 60s, they brought in fill and brought the land up, so everything's lower than 20 feet below the ground.
Oh,
They could
wow.
use it for farming and all that kind of stuff. So we know it's deep down there, and it's more so outside. Like, I will not in the dark. Outside my house in the dark, Chris can attest, horrifying.
It's a nightmare.
And when you say Hell's Angels, we're talking about, like, for those who don't know, like the
That's
biker
motorcycle
gang.
Yes.
Yeah.
Motorcycle
Yeah.
gang who like also would kill people. Like when you say sink
yeah.
stuff, you're talking about actually
Well, we heard
sinking
it from
people
someone,
or
a
what?
local- yeah, from a local man who actually their family owned a lot of land around here. There was like a husband and wife with an abuse situation, and the woman left, ran away from her husband, but was never
my
found
God.
again. So she's the woman in white up on the hill in the back who we've seen. But there's
I know
people
this guy.
here,
You know
like,
the
if
Hells
for
Angels?
how into
Okay, I
this
fucked up
am,
the 7.
a lot more people than me. I don't know if I've ever physically seen Leroy, but my brother, who's a big skeptic, saw Leroy. A contractor working in our house saw him, where I haven't physically seen him, so he doesn't reveal himself to me. But I've seen the woman, and on the Alice box out in the forest, some really, really dark stuff in the forest here.
Yeah, we salt ringed her house.
Yeah, we did.
yeah. I mean, it sounds like you need. To
I
because
was
it sounds
using
like there's
the
a lot of
wrong.
stuff out there. There's a lot of that coming in.
We do every season.
Do you feel like you need to every
Why?
season? It doesn't. The salt.
I
What's the
used
life
to-
cycle of a salt ring? It kind of expires, and people can come back in.
When I start forgetting I did it, I do it again because I feel like intention is a lot. But
I used
to be honest, I don't do any ghost hunting on my property anymore. I don't think I ever will again. I feel like we got it to this really good, healthy point. I wouldn't call it like
Okay,
super
fine. I'll
haunted
restart.
anymore. Like I feel like the energy is a lot better here than it was. But I don't think I'll ever crack a Ouija board or an Alice box again in my house. My house is like my sacred place. We
She's
got
a medium.
really
she
great
can see
feeling,
ghosts.
so-
Well, if you believe that
Yeah,
she
you
can
don't
see
wanna, like,
ghosts, she can
invite
see
anything
ghosts.
else into it.
Yeah.
I have one final one, and this is a fun little side story that I found while I was like perusing Reddit late at night. But this
Perusing.
comes from Glitch in the Matrix subreddit, one of my favorite subreddits. Just about like weird stuff that happens that people can't explain. Kind of like living ghost stories, someone described them as, because like it's like ghost stories, but everyone's alive. It's just like, I don't know, weird stuff popping up. So this came from a thread, and it's kind of like internet folklore because someone said that they had copied this story from another thread they found, and when they went back to check it, that thread was gone. So no one knows where like the story originates from, but it's been passed around. And so this one starts. So near where I grew up, there was a large amusement park. One half of it was rides and coasters, and the other half was a
Can
water
she
park.
see ghosts?
Obviously, the summer
I think
jobs
she
there
can,
were
yeah.
a great pull when you were a teenager.
She has a
and they
YouTube
employed
channel
a
where she
huge
goes
number of my
ghost
friends
hunting.
on summer break from college. The jobs over in the water park were generally considered more
Oh.
desirable, though I was
Okay,
never able
you
to
know
get
how I like to watch ghost hunting shit? Like I like to watch Simon Covey and stuff like that. But she made a YouTube video, okay, and she's pretty stupid. Okay, not that she's stupid, but like her content is for specific people, right? And for the first time, Kev, I swear to God, this is the first time I saw hard evidence of a ghost was on her YouTube video, and she didn't even know herself because she was joking with her brother, and they didn't even zoom in. Me and my sister had to go back on the video, and then we saw it. The fucking water bottle moved. That was the first time I saw that. They didn't even notice it. Like, nobody noticed it. In the comments after, there were like a few people that said, wait, did the water bottle just move? But most of the people just missed it. And me and my sister, we saw it. And we were like, oh my God, she's the real deal. It was crazy. It was so crazy. I was like, damn. So yeah. She's more on the Pepega level of content creator, I think.
Them because I'm a bad swimmer. Basically, the water park opened later and closed earlier, so the shifts were nicer, and they had to pay you more because you had to be first aid and CPR and lifeguard certified. A lot of my friends worked there, and I know about 3 of the people involved in this story. So it started at a water slide, one of the huge tube slides that you had to walk up 7 flights of steps to get to the top. One lifeguard was posted up top telling people when to go down, and one of my friends was a lifeguard at the bottom who helped people off the slide. They also gave them the all clear for the next person to go. A family had come with their child who was very young and apparently barely the height limit to go on this ride. The family was in line. It was the father first, the kid second, and the mother last. And that was so that someone would be with the kid both at the top and the bottom of the slide. So the father goes down the slide, gets off, and the lifeguard gives the all clear, and then they wait. You can't really see what's going on up top, but finally the next rider comes down. But it's the mother who walks over to the father and then asks where their son is. There's a moment of confusion, and my friend is pulled over by the family. The kid had been the next one to enter the slide up top before his mom, but had never come out the bottom. My friend was really confused at that point, so he calls up to the lifeguard who verifies that the kid went down the slide. Neither my friend nor the father saw the kid come out of the bottom. Until this is figured out, they shut down the ride. The top lifeguard calls a security guard and reports this as a missing child, while my friend calls a supervisor. The supervisor shows up and is apparently afraid that the kid is wedged in the tube somehow, and in a way that the mother failed to dislodge him coming down the slide. The parents are upset at this point and freaking out, and the super has the upper
Nike logo
lifeguard
goes
go
under
down the ride himself, spread out to make sure that there's no child jammed into the turns of the slide. He comes out of the bottom, having not dislodged the child, and everyone is more confused than ever. Meanwhile, security called the lifeguards, saying that they just turned up a missing kid near one of the coasters. Could they get a description of the missing child? The super sort of dismisses it offhand and says that it couldn't have been the same child. The coaster they found the kid by was clear across the park, and the child was only missing for a few minutes at this point. Instead, the super has a bunch of lifeguards
fucking
run up the
swoosh of
stairs
Nike
and come down the slide, still hoping to dislodge the kid, while the other employees quietly look around the bottom, just in case the kid somehow managed to fall out of the tube. Meanwhile, upper management gets called in, and the parents of the kid are alternating between yelling and blaming each other, panicking, and threatening to sue the park.
Oh my God.
Upper management calls security and decides to ask them to pull the security camera footage from the top of the slide to try to figure out what happened. A kid a few years ahead of me in high school happened to be working security, and he was there when they pulled the footage, and one of the security guards said that he was almost positive that that was the kid they had in the room, the kid that showed up across the park, missing their parents. They get the kid's name, and sure enough, he is in the missing children's room, safe and sound. And here's where things get weird. The footage shows the father,
What the fuck
the
happened?
kid, and the mother entering the slide. It's also time-stamped, so they know when the child went down the slide. The incident report for when the kid was found clear across the park behind the roller coaster shows that he was discovered less than 5 minutes later. And if you've ever noticed, nothing in an amusement park is laid out linearly. There's always fences and bushes and buildings between you and where you want to go. The idea is
Just
to
they
make
wanted
you
to ghost
ramble
hunting,
about
of
between
course.
rides and cut down the ride wait time. Weirdest of all was that the
I
incident
want to be
report
like
said that
Simon
this
Dean.
child seemed
course.
disoriented and was at first not able to respond to questions. It also stated that the kid, who was apparently in a water slide 5 minutes prior, was bone dry. This was the talk of the park for about a week, with everyone trying to come up with explanations. Guards searching the other security footage to try to find the kid going across the park, people trying to get from the slide to the coaster. And then upper management came out and basically hushed the whole thing up. Supervisors told the lifeguards that if they heard anyone talking about it, that they would be fired. Pretty soon, the park moved on to whatever the next drama was, and it got swept aside. But yeah, child goes down slide into time and space portal.
The Fringe.
I love it.
Fringe, Men in Black.
Yes.
It's like I've read stories about this, or like covered stories about this.
What did you think? Do you think the kid got like ghost kidnapped? He got like teleported? I wouldn't be surprised. That'd be sick though. I wonder what the kid's gonna tell them. Like, what did the kid fucking saw? Did he even get in the thing? Maybe he just got lost and saw like the open door and he got stuck and he was just like, oh, let me get down here.
In Appalachia specifically, where there's like a kid that is found 6 miles away, disappears immediately, and he's unscathed. Like, he could not have gone up this mountain. All these things. It makes no sense. So you just can't make sense. Like,
we're living in a simulation, man.
But now this one, there's cameras. Like, is it real? Is there footage?
I guess in this telling of the story, there is like footage of them going down and then the kid just showing up across the park.
So weird.
That is so strange. I don't even know what to make of that.
I know. I covered a story where this woman, so this was a woman that I interviewed back in the day during Heart Starts Pounding when we were like just interviewing people telling their scary stories. But she went to a park in New York, in upstate New York, and went on a trail with her boyfriend. There were 2 of them together. They're like walking around for 20 minutes. And when they get off the trail, her boyfriend's family was like yelling at them like, oh my God, you've been gone for 3 hours. Because they were having like a family party that day. And apparently like she and her boyfriend disappeared for 3 hours. And they were really concerned and they drove around and they were like shouting their names. And they went down the trail and they shouted for them and they didn't see them there. And she was like, it's so weird because I swore that I had only been gone for 20 minutes. And then the more you like research the park, the more you realize like other people have had that same exact experience there of like these weird time lapses and not necessarily showing up in other places, but I don't know. Sometimes there's just like a portal or whatever in a place. They say glitches in the matrix.
Damn.
Oh man, that just makes me want to give up.
None of it's real anyway.
None of it's real. Why do I have to go to work?
Everything's fake. Everything's fake, and somebody's controlling us. What the hell?
If I like think too hard about us being in a simulation, I like start to panic a little bit and
That's me when I think about space. What's beyond everything? What is everything? Don't.
Makes me freak out.
Freak out.
I know. If we're just in some like Sims.
Have you ever seen a ghost to your belief?
Right.
No. I have never seen a ghost. I did have one supernatural experience, but it wasn't me directly. Because I was in my room when we went to El Salvador in my uncle's house. And as I take the stuff out of my bag, I take out the tarot deck. And at the same time as I take out the tarot deck, I hear everybody, my mom, my aunt, my dad, my uncle, they all started screaming. But like I was in my room and they were all in the kitchen. And so I run to the kitchen and I'm like, what happened? And then they look at me and they're like, the speaker, like, you know, like those Amazon speakers, which is like a tiny rectangle, got yeeted out from one room, from like the top of the kitchen, like the top of the kitchen shelf, to the fucking ground. It got yeeted. And everybody was like, oh my God, how did that happen? How did that happen? And I was just like, I kind of hide my tarot deck. I was like, I guess it's not the tarot. I don't want to believe that it's a tarot deck. Holy crap! I was like, I just kind of hide it, and I was like, oh, okay. So I put it aside. But that was the talk of the day, man. Everybody was talking about how it got yeeted, and they tried to be like detective. So they tried putting it back, seeing like maybe the wind, but that shit's kind of heavy, so it's like the wind could not move that. And they were like, maybe it's inclined, and then they tried doing like everything, and yeah. But that's as close as I got to any interaction. I guess maybe when we went ghost hunting, there's this app where allegedly the ghost can talk to you. I have never seen one. We tried talking to them, and it's kind of funny when it talks through the app. Well, I think it's funny when you talk through the app, but some people don't like it. But yeah. Have you ever seen a ghost? I don't know how to make the top. It's been so long, I don't know how to make the top. That's crazy, Barry. I have not. It's not that crazy when you think about it. I think this has to be moved to the side. What do you think? I think this has to be moved. Okay. Like this. But yeah. But I'm not dumb, right? Because I watched Sam and Dean, so I know that you should never, like, play too far with it. Like, I'm never gonna do the Ouija board. I saw some papagas that do the Ouija board. I'm like, I'm not doing the Ouija board. That's just dumb. I'm not doing that. I believe too much in ghosts to believe that shit is real. Like, you'll never find me fucking do the Ouija board. And there's this thing where it's called the Estes method that you can do. I did it when we did the ghost hunting video. See, that's the video that we did. We were me, 3 people, my friend. We were 5 people. And we literally went to a ghost hunting place. I have the clips. I never edited because I didn't want to edit it. I was a bit scared of what we could find because I did the Estes method, which is basically you have a spirit box that plays and you have the headset on. Like, one person has the headset, so you close your eyes and it goes like, and then you have words, and then you see the words, and then you say them. And there was this one time where I'm wearing it, and I don't know what this chick said in, like, what it said, but everything went silent, so I couldn't hear the it went silent, and all I heard was no, and I got freaked out. I don't know what she said. It was very, like, I can't tell you what she said, but I was so scared I fucking screamed, and I yeeted the headset away. And then for a few days, dude, I would just sleep, and I was scared to kind of sleep because I would hear the voice in my head, and I was just like, oh no. So I would pick up my dog and I would sleep with my dog. But it wasn't like nah, it wasn't like it. Like, I have the clips. That's the worst part, is that I have it on camera. Everything, all of that happened on camera, so you can literally hear me scream because we're holding the camera. But that was like the only time where I got literally scared of it, because the way that everything went silence, because in the app you hear it just went straight silence. We gotta watch it. Nah. It went so silent, dude, and all you hear was like, and she was talking. She said a whole line, and I didn't get it. I genuinely didn't get it, and it was clear. It was like more than clear, and it looked like a real voice, like not like a distorted voice. Because sometimes the idea of the spirit box is that it takes whatever is being said on the radio, and allegedly the ghost can use it to make a line. So sometimes he's gonna use songs like, oh na na na. Sometimes there's gonna be like things like that are gonna be cut out. But the fact that it was clearly not from the radio, and it was clearly like a na na na, and I just got scared. I just yeeted that shit up. I've heard sound and stuff, but I don't think it's supernatural. Nosy has done that with his friend. You didn't went with him, Kev? You didn't went to do the Estes method with him? It reminds me of Phasmophobia. Yeah, it's basically Phasmophobia in real life. And I can't lie to you, there's a part of me that wants to do it again because it was so thrilling. But there's also a part of me that's like, nah, I'm not dumb enough to go and do it and fucking get possessed. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not that dumb. Young, but not that young. Dumb, but not that dumb. Oh no, now you did the Ouija, I'm doing it. Nah, your Ouija board, you will never find me doing that. Even in Phasmophobia, I don't want to do it. I'm not touching that. Because I genuinely believe that shit is gonna fucking get you killed. That's just dumb. Don't do that. Like, Ouija board, I don't do it. I don't even get close to it. I know my limits, and that's part of the limits. You will never find me doing that. Like, especially because, like, I see a bunch of people that say, like, you need to know the rules of the Ouija board, which in fact gets me killed every time. It's gonna be the same thing in real life. Dude, you need to know the rules of using the Ouija board because otherwise you get hunted. So, I know my limits, okay? There's rule in using the Ouija board. I will never use it, but there is rule. One time we went camping with my friend, and they told me, oh, bring your tarot cards, right? In case. So I brought the tarot card. And we were like in a tent. And the tent had windows that we could close, right? But it was kind of a expensive tent, right? That we got. So there's like a bathroom in the middle. That's how like glamorous the tent was, right? And there's like two kind of tent with windows, yeah, and it's kind of two separate bedrooms in the tent, but like not separated by like a wall or something, just like the tent tissue, right? And then there's like it basically looked like this, right? So you had the tent, you had like two rooms here, right? So like this, so there's like one room here, the bathroom in the middle, another room here, then this is the living room, and then there was a window right here, right? I was sleeping here, and my friend here, my sister here, and her friend here, right? There's another window here, 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 and the door is here, right? And in the bedroom, there's like, this is the bed, and there's like those thingy that ties up like this. I don't know what it's called, like this. So you can close them, right, for privacy inside the room. So after we finished doing the tarot reading, I went to bed, but the bed here has a straight line onto the window there. And I kept looking at the fucking window. And if you ever been camping, you know that with the trees and everything, it's fucking dark outside. It's pitch black, right? You don't see nothing. And I don't know why I would keep looking at that fucking window, and I couldn't sleep because I was just looking at the window. I was like, I feel. You know, like when you just feel, I was like, I feel like something's gonna pop through the fucking window. Like, I feel like there was gonna be a face in the fucking window, and I got so scared, dude. I was like, I kept looking at it in case I see something, but I was genuinely scared that I was gonna see, like, you know, like one of those shapeshifter type shit, right? Like those thingy, like those creepy dudes, right? And it was like a camp, so there was multiple tents, there was multiple people there, and you could still hear other people like celebrating and shit like that. But I was genuinely so scared. I said, we need to close all the windows. So I was like, I'd rather not see it than see it and get traumatized for life. So I just closed all the window, and we even closed like the partition, I guess, like the curtains. We even closed the curtain. I was like, I don't want to get traumatized for life. So yeah, that happened. Yeah, that's my story. Did Nazi get cursed or something?
Right?
I don't want.
What
them to
about
see
you,
I've done.
Sigis? Have you ever seen a real ghost?
I hate it. And it just glitched, and that kid just went across the park.
Mhm.
We're in just like a roller coaster tycoon type situation.
Yes. Yeah, that literally is roller coaster
That's it.
tycoon.
That's it.
Somebody just picked up a little guy and just
Just dropped him.
somewhere else.
dropped him, and he's like, "What's going on?"
I don't
Where's
think
my
so.
mom? Poor
But
little
here in
guy,
Australia,
right?
all
He's
the
gonna
weird
be
stuff
therapy
happens
for the
there.
rest of his life.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Oh
would be
my
curious, like,
gosh.
what his perspective was on what happened. Like, did you just wake up and you were across the park and you don't remember?
Come out a slide and you're just standing there.
Right? Because, well, what they said is he was disoriented and had nothing to say. But that's been the same stories that I've read in the Appalachia with specifically like little kids going, they're like, how did you get up here? And they just don't really know. And it's like,
I had read about ones in Appalachia where the kids, there was one specifically that I read where the kid was like, a big bear helped me. And they were like,
Yep,
a bear
that's
didn't
one.
help you. And he was like, no, a bear.
Picked me up and ran away with me.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, Bigfoot.
Kids are scary.
A bear saved him. Remember that, guys. In the Appalachia, a bear can save you. I would trust the bear. Maybe it was a werewolf and the kid got confused and thought it was a bear. No, he said some stuff happened to us. I don't remember much though. Damn! In what? The Appalachia. The Appalachia is a forest known for supernatural activities. It's a forest known throughout folklores and history for having weird shit happening in there. You do not want to go camping there. And see, I didn't know that. And it's a forest that is kind of, it goes from Canada to the United States. Okay, so we share like multiple forests, and that's one of the big ones that we share. And when we went camping to that glamorous camping spot, like an hour away was the Appalachian forest where you can go hiking. So when we went hiking in the Appalachian hikes in the forest over there. So technically, I could have seen something because that's the supernatural thing. But we didn't know. I learned only about it like afterward. It's where Fallout 76 is set. Is it? Did they film it there? Did everybody when disappeared? They said Bigfoot is there. Skinwalkers are there. Witches are there. There's a lot of shit there. Oh, but my mom and my dad believe that they did met that that one of my uncle did date a witch. And to the point where my mom was like my mom was at home back in El Salvador, and my uncle came in with his girlfriend, and then the mom of the girlfriend, she came out like later during the day. And then my mom looked at her and she had like a bad vibe about that lady. But she said like, do you want to come in? And so the lady tried to get up, but she couldn't physically get inside the house. So she decided to just wait outside on like the stairs. That's where she sat. She physically could not enter the fucking house. And my mom, when she saw that, she said, never in her fucking life did she invite any other weird lady like that inside the house. Was she too fat? No, she was very slim. But she could not physically get inside the house. So my mom was just like, she told my uncle, she said, you better fucking break up with that girl and you better never fucking bring that girl over here. Never in my life would I ever allow this woman and her mom to get anywhere close, because my brother was so baby, anywhere close to her kid, right? My brother. And my mom has so many stories of fucking witches that she said, because remember, she's from, her and my dad are from El Salvador, and back in the day, El Salvador was like just a bunch of like campos that they call like farmland, very like broke and very, very religious. So she saw that, dude, and it was just fucked up, man. Another time, my dad says he was in the airport and this lady, like, still in El Salvador, right? And this lady comes up to him and she said, you need to talk to an animal. And my dad just looked at her like, what the fuck is she talking about? This woman's crazy, right? But now he's thinking about it, right? And this girl said, you need to talk to an animal. You need to talk. You are holding something. And she said, you need to talk. She said, talk to a cat. Talk to a dog. You need to talk. And then she looks at him and she said, you need to go to the hospital. Something's not good with you. And my dad was freaked out. He was like, who is this lady when I'm about to board the fucking plane? Who's this fucking lady telling me I need to go to the hospital and then to be Dr. Doolittle? And so my dad just looked at her like, what the fuck is she on? And then she really told him. And she really told him, she said, something's not good with your belly. And she said like, "Yeah, something's not good through your belly area, and your mind's not good too." And then she left, but she told him, "Come see me." And she gave him her phone number. She said, "Come see me. I can help you." And my dad just never called her. My dad was like freaked out. He was like, "What the fuck is happening?" And then he came back, and I think 2-3 years later, they did find like we brought him to the hospital, and they figured out that he had bad shit going on, dude. And this lady was spot on. And then we had my dog, and then my dad talks to my dog every day, dude. Every day he talks to her. And now he's feeling better. But that lady was real, man. The lady told him like the belly stuff, and she was spot on. My dad had like bad shit going on in his belly. I had that. She was a meth addict projecting to me though. But Swiggy, you do cocaine. You do cocaine, man. What are you talking about? So yeah, guys, that's what my dad and my mom had. Oh, you guys ever heard of the chupacabra? Nah, I got off the bus one day and some woman walked up to me and said, "You don't look okay." Hi, and when's that like that? You know, you just. No, the lady was just crazy. You ever heard of the chupacabra? From Red Dead? There's like something called the chupacabra. One day I asked my dad, cause I killed it in Red Dead. Me too, I killed him multiple times in Red Dead. One time I asked my dad, "Is the chupacabra real?" Right? Cause again, they live like in the recluse part, right? And they both work like, cause they both grandparents had like farm. My mom had like animal farm. My dad was more like veggies and plants and coffee beans. When is the Taka Paranormal Overwatch podcast where you do custom talking to people about paranormal stuff called Paranormal Watch? Have you ever met a ghost? Lobby chat. We could do that. And I asked my mom and my dad, "Have you ever met the chupacabra?" Right? And then my mom was like, she said, "I don't know if it was the chupacabra," because she was very young, right? And mind you, my mom is 60 plus. Okay, so it's been a while. Okay, it's been a while. And she said that when she was young, sometimes at night, her dad would come running inside the house because they had workers, and he would gather all the workers and gather all the dogs and get like all the, you know, like those big knife machete, like those machete. And he would get like guns, like he would grab it and he would tell the kid to stay inside the house, to not open the door, to not go outside, right? And he would gather, like everybody would like get on their horses, gather the dogs, and she said you would hear the dog screaming. Like the dog were barking and barking and barking. And like she said, the thing is that they had to protect the cows. So what she thinks is probably or was a chupacabra, because that didn't happen often. That happened like once in a while. It happened, and the look on her dad's face, it wasn't like a coyote. Like they wouldn't make such a scandal for a coyote. They wouldn't make such a scandal if it was a person. It was very specific, and only the dogs will get so triggered and so angry when they will like see what it would have, what it would be allegedly the chupacabra. So that's why they had to have dog, because they would go and chase it. So my mom says she heard him, and she said also that it makes a weird noise. Like she would hear like some weird ass noise, but like screaming weird noises. So yeah, this is a story.
Yeah, no, it's weird. Yeah, and I know that. And then like they find him like totally fine, like in a log or something, or in like a little cave. It's creepy. It's weird. It's so weird.
I know. It's always, yeah. And it's always kids. I don't know. Whatever it is like moving kids around.
Right?
The innocence.
So creepy. I don't know, especially in the middle of nowhere. Those ones are like what? But it's just as creepy because there's footage of that, and it's like, you know, supposedly.
Yeah, when it's in such
now
a
I'm gonna
as
search.
public of a place. Did you ever? It just made me think of this. But did you ever? There was a time where my TikTok algorithm was just like water slides in Dubai that looked like they were in the back rooms. Like there's carpet around them, and they start inside. And it's like fluorescent
What?
lighting. It literally looks like you're in an office, but there's like an opening, and you go down the water slide, and then it's like psychedelic once you're in there, and there's like flashing lights, and it goes pitch black, and then you like swirl around something and go down. It's honestly horrifying, but my whole algorithm was this one guy that was like traveling the world, like just going on all these water slides. But I feel like this would happen in one of those water slides.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Start in Dubai and end up in like Kansas.
Yeah, that's so interesting. God forbid somebody goes there and after they take or something.
Rip.
Yeah, it's just like
Rip. Rip to them.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
Wow. That's crazy. I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
So
Just gonna be
spooky.
thinking about that.
I know.
It's very strange. I'm gonna use a lot of my free will today. I'm gonna try to debunk that.
Yeah.
Do some
Make sure they
crazy
can never
shit.
predict your next move. Like just go absolutely wild.
Spinning.
Yeah, spinach. No.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining me for this episode today.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, this was so
I
fun.
appreciate it.
I love.
Sorry for our nonsense.
No, this is
Yeah.
perfect because I love just getting spooky with other spooky gals.
Yeah.
It's my
Same.
dream. It's how I wanted to spend this day. It proves we're not in the algorithm because they could have never seen this coming.
Nope.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep, it's very exciting. But yeah, we're
What'd she do?
very excited to hopefully collab again. With
Yes,
my art channel and
absolutely.
stuff. It'll be awesome.
So for my listeners, where can they find you guys?
Yeah, we're on. What's our channel name?
Can't sleep.
Can't Sleep Channel. Is it?
Can't
on
Sleep
YouTube?
Channel, yeah,
Whatever. Just look up Can't Sleep Selena Spooky Boo or Can't Sleep Call Me Chris and it'll show
You'll
up.
find it.
It's us
I
with
think
a-
I
it's
should
us with
put like
some
the hand
candles
wrap.
holding them.
Looking like
They all have hand
That's us.
wraps.
And we just basically do this. We just yap. We just yap and gab and whatever.
weekly catch up.
It's just fun, you know. It's just a hangout sesh. That's it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm going to put all that in the description so anyone listening, you're going to know exactly where to go to get more of this. And thanks, guys. So exciting.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thanks.
Catch you later. Bye. Heart Starts Pounding is written and produced by me, Kayla Moore. Heart Starts Pounding is also produced by Matt Brown. Our associate producer is Juno Hobbs. Sound design and mix by Red Rum Creative. Special thanks to Travis Dunlap, Grayson Jernigan, and the team at WME. Have a heart pounding story or a case request? Check out heartsartspounding.com.
Damn, they have so many people working for them. Holy shit. Alright, so I think I can bring this to full. I think we need the shoes. Oh, we might need the shoes. Oh man, what's the FIFA shoes? FIFA World Cup 2026 Nike shoes. I think he's wearing these. 390, almost $400. That's crazy. Okay, so the shoes, I think he's wearing them. Thank God I'm not a soccer player, man, because that should be expensive. I liked her. I think she was nice.
Today, I want to share with you some real terrifying stories that I heard from you guys, our lovely listeners. We're talking mysterious chanting coming from the backwoods of the Midwest, a church camp that definitely had something demonic hiding in the cabins, and more. And joining me this week on this episode is Morgan Absher, the host of the Two Hot Takes podcast, as well as our shared podcast together, Clues. And just a reminder, if you're a fan of true scary stories, unsolved mysteries, and other unexplained phenomena, you're in the right place because you're just like me. We upload once a week, so make sure you are subscribed to this channel. It's when your heart starts pounding. Morgan, welcome to the Rogue Detecting Society headquarters.
Oh my gosh, that's what we're calling it here. I love that.
This is
That's a
the
cool name.
headquarters. What are your first impressions?
It's incredible.
Oh, thank you.
It's incredible. I'm gonna take that saber-toothed tiger skeleton thing home.
I love that thing. Facebook Marketplace.
I know, I love the marketplace.
Talk about buying like weird things on Facebook Marketplace.
Your
but, yeah.
lamp is beautiful.
that.
We've got Gordy back there haunting me from afar.
Now we have a lot of stuff too from listener small businesses now. Like this mug I got
love
from Coco and Ducky, which is a listener small business. That candle in the back, those two candles actually in the back are from Wicked Wick Candle Company, which also listeners.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
We wanted to like be very intentional about it and be like, what businesses do the listeners have? Oh, that I think whatever blanket you have behind, that you have on you
I'm
is also
using it.
listeners. I know.
It's
yeah,
amazing.
We have a lot of good stuff in here.
You put together a really pretty studio.
I'm so happy with it.
I'm
No.
jealous. You're like making me want to redo mine.
I know. No, it was time for a refresh. I'm so happy that we were able to kind of upgrade some stuff. So thank you for coming over. So today, what I wanted to do, I have a bunch of scary stories that listeners have sent in. Every couple of months, I feel like I reach out to the community and I'm like, send me your scariest stories. They never disappoint. It's always very bizarre stuff happening to these people. I'm a little worried for them, but I wanted to dive into, I have curated a couple for us today to get into.
I'm ready.
So I want to read this first one that came in from a listener. It's called The House of Rules. And it goes, Hey Kaylin, I'm Sneha, writing to you from Kerala, India. Before anything else, I just wanted to say this. I've been binging Heart Starts Pounding since the beginning of 2024, and I genuinely haven't been able to stop. That's very nice. Thank you so much. Kerala, for context, is India's southernmost state. As of 2025, it's one of the highest literacy rates in the country, roughly 95.3%. But literacy here has never erased belief. In fact, some of the most educated families I know are also the ones that quietly keep old rules. Don't whistle at night. Don't answer if someone calls your name after dusk. Don't sleep facing the east unless invited. Our folklore isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself with screams or apparitions. It works through obedience, ritual, and silence. What I'm sharing below is not a commonly told Kerala ghost story. It's something that happened to my great-grandparents in 1904 during British rule, when my paternal grandmother was still a toddler. It was never written down, only spoken about once every few years, usually with the instruction, don't repeat this outside the family, but I'm choosing to post it now. This
Why is she
the
so
house that
papaga?
followed the rules.
Ooh,
I know.
Why is it Rebecca? She said
like
don't say
goosebumps all
it
over.
to anybody else. Why are
In
you saying it to
1904,
everybody else?
My great-parents
What
lived
is-
in a region
what
that
a
was thick
Rebecca?
with rubber trees, narrow canals, and land that never fully dries. The British had already established administrative offices there, and Indian clerks like my great-grandfather were expected to function in two worlds, obedient to colonial authority outside the home and bound by ritual and hierarchy inside of it. Their house was not large, but it was precise. Everything in it followed rules. The front door was only opened after sunrise. Lamps were lit in pairs, never alone. Food was served facing south. Mirrors were covered after dusk. No one asked why. These were not superstitions, just instructions passed down with the house. And the house was old enough to expect compliance. One evening, a British officer arrived unannounced. This was unusual. Officers didn't just visit Indian homes unless there was trouble. He came on horseback, mud splashed up to his boots, and he asked for water. When my great-grandmother brought it, he hesitated before drinking. This house, he said, does it belong to you? And she answered honestly, no, we belong to it. He laughed, but he was a little uncomfortable. That night, something small changed in the house. The oil lamp in the prayer room flickered and then went out. When it was relit, the flame leaned sideways, as if it was being pulled by breath. My great-grandmother blamed the rain. She always blamed the rain first. But then the house began correcting them. If someone sat where they shouldn't, they started feeling ill. If food was served in the wrong order, it would spoil by morning. When my great-grandfather once slept with his head facing east, something that's strictly forbidden, he woke up unable to move his legs for hours. And then
Jesus.
the voice appeared. It didn't speak loudly, it didn't echo. It sounded like a thought, not sound, and it only spoke in instructions. Move the lamp, close the door, not that direction. My great-grandmother thought that she was losing her mind until my great-grandfather repeated the same instructions aloud one evening, finishing her sentence for her. They never spoke about it directly. In those days, you didn't discuss these kinds of things, especially not under British rule, where anything unexplained was labeled as hysteria or punished. And then my grandmother, barely 2 years old, began refusing to sleep. She would sit upright, staring at a wall, nodding slightly as if she
That's
was
creepy.
listening. When asked what she was doing, she said very calmly, "The house is teaching me." One afternoon, though, my great-grandmother broke a rule that she didn't know existed. She swept the inner corridor after sunset. That night, the house made its first demand. The voice spoke clearly now, no longer instructions, but expectations. You missed a corner. The next morning, my great-grandfather was summoned by the British Administrative Office. A complaint had
God.
been filed anonymously, accusing him of improper conduct. The details were intimate, specific. They were things that no one outside of the house should have known. The officer leaned forward and said, half joking, half serious, "Your walls are very attentive." That night, the house no longer whispered. It was like it was speaking. Doors were opening and closing on their own.
Wait, that's creepy.
Footsteps moved through the rooms without bodies. My great-grandmother saw reflections where no one stood. Not faces, but just postures, as though something was practicing how to be human. Finally, the house issued a final instruction. Leave the child. They fled at dawn. They took nothing but their clothes and my grandmother, who screamed the entire journey, not in fear, but in rage. She kept repeating the same sentence. "I didn't finish learning." The house was abandoned soon after. The British officer who had visited died mysteriously within a year. The land was never sold. Even today, locals say the structure is intact, clean, orderly, like it's waiting. Because some houses don't haunt you, they train you. Thank you for reading this, Kaylin. Writing this felt like breaking a long-held silence, and Heart Starts Pounding felt like the only place it belonged. I loved that story when I first read it.
Wow.
I love it because it feels like family folklore, but also the
That was
idea
crazy.
of a
What a
house
story.
having rules. I think is something that a lot of cultures practice. Like there's specific rituals that you have to follow, or else you're kind of breaking the order of things. I loved it.
I'm blown away. I find it so interesting too that, you know, you have this story coming from India and the don't whistle back or whatever the whistle is.
Mhm.
That whistling also pops up in Appalachia. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much where it's like if you hear a whistle or if you hear your name called. And so it's like, yeah, these stories kind of transcend cultures and
Yeah.
geography. It's going so many different ways.
And I always feel like if something shows up, right, there's like sleep paralysis demons that show up in every
Yes.
culture all over the world, and they always have the same symptoms, the same type of entity that comes into the room.
The same look.
The same look. Like,
Multiple people describe the same exact figure.
there is a reason for it then. Like if it keeps showing up places, I just think that there's something to it. So yeah, the like don't whistling was really interesting. But then yeah, there's like little ones that are also kind of freaky.
I know. Well, and it's like the first thought that popped into my head was like, this is like the opposite of the Encanto house.
Oh,
Have you seen Encanto?
I have not.
Oh my gosh.
What's the Encanto house?
It's like just this house that has magical rooms and everyone gets their gift and
yeah.
the house then starts freaking out, but the house protects everyone and the house kind of takes care of the family and
Yeah.
their powers. And it was like the opposite where this house is almost just not feeling as friendly and
Yeah, you don't want to
nice.
mess with this one. This
No.
one's not giving you presents.
No, and the fact that it still sits empty, and I think land has a lot of power, especially when tragic things have happened on that land.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that energy just sticks, and it's interesting that no matter what is there, what structure,
Yeah.
that energy can kind of transform.
Has anything else happened in your house? Any other ghosty sightings?
You know, not recently, and
Which is weird because you're renovating and that's always the time where stuff pops up.
I know we found out because we purchased this other house, and shortly like after, like 3 days after we closed, the old owner died, and the wife was still present.
Oh, wow.
And so they had boards where they marked their children's height, and I
Oh no.
wanted to gift them that once we started demo and I could get it out of the wall.
That's so thoughtful.
So we started demoing. I got my contractor to cut the boards out. I reached out to their realtor to be like, hey, can we make sure she gets this? And she responded back, she passed away within a year.
Oh.
And she was 20 years, some odd years younger than him. And I'm just like, what?
That's so sad.
And so I don't know. It's just like,
Can you reach out to the children and maybe
so we got
gift
it to the kids.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's really great.
we got it to the kids now. But I'm just like, I took it to the studs because there was a lot of mold, and I definitely think the house has a new vibe. But I still like, I want to bring in someone who can kind of walk through and like, I don't know, like cleanse the house in an
Overwatch
appropriate
doesn't
way
have
that's,
dark
like,
dark
Get a
colors.
read on it.
yeah, and just like make
Oh.
sure that everything's settled because I'm, as you know, I'm a believer. So
What if I
Yeah,
make
and
it
you don't
like
want to
this
mess with
color?
something
no,
that you
Make it
don't
dark.
no.
know
If
what
I
it
had to
is.
cover my mirrors after dark
Yeah, yeah.
just to not see them in it, like that would, I would have to move.
Oh yeah.
I would have to move.
Oh, we just did a story too on another episode that we did last month about this girl who there was a djinn in her mirror that fell in love with her. And that's a thing in, I guess, like in cultures where there's djinns, is like
What?
djinn entities can live in your mirrors. And if you like look at yourself too long in the mirror and or if like you're too vain, or if you undress in front of a mirror,
Yeah.
the djinn can fall in love with you and become obsessed with you and try to like pull you
Wow.
into the mirror realm,
Oh,
which
did you ever do Bloody Mary as a kid? You definitely did.
yeah, I definitely
Yeah,
did.
knowing you definitely did.
Yeah, I
What
was
a
always the one at
fucking
sleepover,
weirdo.
like,
Why would
"Hey
you
guys,
do
wouldn't it
that?"
be crazy if we like all did Bloody Mary, but like,
Did you ever see anything in the mirror?
no, I don't think so. It was one of those things where we'd have sleepovers and like one of my friends would always be like, I saw her, and like you have no idea
I
if
can't
she actually
see.
did.
I'm so excited for your little one to be 3 and start to hear all the stories.
I know he's already. I already feel like he's interacting with some shadow realm because he's always just like looking at something I can't.
Oh my
see.
god.
So I'm just so curious what it's gonna be like when he gets a little older.
I know. Truly already giving old soul.
I know.
Like very aware.
Yes.
Like, and did you see there was a trend for a while where people were posting their babies and like basically being like, my baby was born like aware?
no.
We're going to have to get you on that.
I feel like I could do that trend too because he already
What
is just
the
so
fuck?
awake and like he only has he's starting to smile a little bit, which is nice, but he has one facial expression. And it's like furrowed brow. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's his only facial expression.
He's so cute.
All right,
he's
do you
so
want to
cute.
read what I have for you next?
Yes, I'm going in blind. I'm so excited to see. Okay, so this one you have labeled Predictive Dreams. Anna wrote in, hi, Kaylin. I'm a longtime listener and fan. What is your take on dreams that predict the future? This happened to me in 2021 while I was working at a chain restaurant that rhymes with Kurgerbing.
I think I can guess what that one was.
I worked nights at the time and would usually get off at around 1 to 2 a.m. One night, I had a dream that I was closing up at work like usual when on the surveillance camera monitor, I saw a hooded figure that was trying to break into my coworker's car. I alerted my coworker, who immediately went outside to confront this hooded figure, and the hooded figure ended up pulling out a gun and shooting my coworker, thus killing him. This dream seemed so real to me. I still remember waking up, shaking from the nightmare,
There was a dream. I thought it
and
was
the
real.
big sigh of relief when I realized that it was just a dream. I
It's
don't normally
only
have super
just a
realistic dreams like that.
dream.
I mentioned my dream to my coworker the very next day and told him about my dream and how he died. I still remember after I told him about my dream, he told me that if someone was trying to break into his car, that is exactly what he would do. He would just go out and confront them. My coworker was a hothead
It was
who
only
worked out
just a
religiously and was not afraid of confrontation.
Thank goodness
He was
for
a
what
strong
kid.
guy.
That was a dream.
At the time, we brushed it off as a weird dream. 3 days after I had my dream, the exact scenario played out
I see
in
that it's
real
okay. I
life.
have an issue here. You see, you never really have pitch dark in drawing, but the jersey is hella dark. So I'm like, do I just put it like grayish? Oops. This is not working. Do I just put it grayish? Or do I generally put it dark? I'm getting scared. Why are you getting scared? Cause I kind of like that. Cause the fit is the fit. You know, it's not much I can do about the fit. I think I like it more like this. Cause this is more accurate to the fit. Boo. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it like this because this is way more accurate. But for the case of putting everything else in color, you guys want me to switch it? You guys are really getting scared? We can listen to How to Become a Millionaire podcast. I like being scared. Damn. Look at you go. I like scary. No. Guys, you ready? I give you a little break. Here.
We were closing up, and on the surveillance camera monitor, my manager mentioned to us that there was a hooded figure next to my coworker's car, and it looked like he was trying to break into it. Instead of rushing out to confront the man, like he did in my dream, my coworker set off the alarm of his car to scare the guy off. It worked, and the guy hid behind some of the bushes at the edge of our parking lot. We could see on the camera exactly where he was at. We figured that eventually he would leave the area.
I don't want to leave
Once
my
no
feet on
crime
the
was
ground.
technically
You know when
committed,
you get
none of us
scared
felt the
and
need
you're
to call
scared
the
that someone's
police.
gonna grab your
Cut
feet,
to 30
so
to
you
45 minutes later,
so you don't
and we
let
were
your
done with
feet touch the
closing
ground.
store,
That's
and
the
guy
vibrant.
was still behind the bushes. We all walked out as a group, and we could see that the man was still hiding behind the bushes, and he was looking at us. Normally, after we were done with our shifts, we like to hang out around the parking lot outside and chat for a bit before we all went our separate ways. We still planned on doing that this night, even though there was a stranger watching us from the bushes. We figured that we
Papaya!
had enough strength in numbers and that the guy was harmless because he hadn't really done anything dangerous at the time.
Papaya! How can
My
you be so
manager, on the other
papaya?
hand, did not like the vibes this guy was giving off. She decided to drive by him to see what he was doing and to get a closer
Ooh,
look at him.
Even more papaya!
After she
Why would you drive right in front of the guy? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You stupid or something? Can't let my feet hang off the bed in case the monster grabs it. Yeah, in case the monster fucking grab it. Dude, that's why you have to do the rocket. We call it the rocket in this house, where you lift your feet up, you lift your leg up, so the blanket goes under and you go poof on the ground. That way your blanket is like around your feet. So if they're grabbing something, they're grabbing the blanket. Yeah? I think my Sojourn's pretty cool, no? Like, we have to remove everything else, but I think she's pretty cool so far. True, smart duck. But that's just dumb. Why
Slowly
would you
drove
jump
by the guy.
Why
She
would you jump?
immediately sped up and drove back to us, going in a circle. She told us that we all had to leave immediately because she saw that the guy had a gun. He was holding it in his hand when she passed by. After we heard that, we all immediately ran to our cars like chickens with their heads cut off. And when the man saw this, he started to slowly walk towards us. I swear,
What I say?
we all
Fucking
left skid
papayas.
marks in the parking lot, trying to leave so fast. I could see the man walking towards my car in my rearview mirror when I was pulling out. The next day, my coworker confessed to me that when he saw the man messing with his car, trying to break in, his first instinct was to confront the guy. But he remembered the dream that I had told him, and he stopped himself. He told me that that was the only reason he did not confront the man, was because of my dream. Even though he had brushed it off as a weird dream, something in his gut told him to take it seriously. I haven't had any other dreams like that since then. It still gives me the chills to think about how I had a dream that almost came true 3 days later. But because I told my coworker about my dream, I possibly saved his life.
Wow. I believe in predictive dreams, definitely.
100%.
100%.
I have had a listener reach out,
What a bunch of
and
babes.
I think it was on my dad's show when we did like
What
a
would
spooky
you-
episode, and she predicts family members' deaths. She's very tied in,
Ooh.
and her grandma was tied into the psychic realm and like
Wow.
family history of it, and she can predict people's deaths. And she gets like a glimmer, but isn't quite sure who it is. She just gets like feelings through her dreams or something like that. And so then it's kind of like, well, God, who's it going to be? And so it's really, really tough for
That's
her.
so scary. Does she like reach out to the people and tell them, hey, I had this dream about you?
No, because I don't think she gets enough, but she knows it's coming.
Oh,
And she can get like kind of a vibe.
Ooh.
Like it's a feminine energy on my husband's side,
Oh,
but she
okay,
doesn't
okay.
know who. So it's
she
like,
just
is
starts
it?
getting the feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I mean, it's really dark to think about, but I don't think I would want someone to tell me. Or I don't know. If it was something like this where like
This.
it's preventable.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is kind of wild, but I had this dream that someone outside of our fast food job like shot you. I would want them to tell me, I think.
I think so. I think if it's something that you can.
Would you guys like to know if
potentially
when you're gonna
change
die?
your fate. But then some people believe that like, no, your fate is set. Doesn't matter what knowledge you have, it's not going to help.
Yeah.
But it helped here.
It did help here.
Like
yeah.
this was remarkable. Like
Unless it becomes like a Final Destination kind of thing where you cheated
Oh.
death and then now it's just going to come collect at some point. Which
Would
also
you?
kind of freaks me out. But
no.
have you ever had a predictive dream?
No, I've had a
I
lot of
don't know.
visitation dreams
I don't know.
from like loved ones after they've passed, but
yeah.
not any predictive dreams that are standing out.
Oh, you want to know
I
what
had both
did
at
happen
the same
once though?
time. Did I tell you about this?
No.
Okay, believe me not. It's up to you. I think I was in a voice call with someone too when it happened. I think it was Gresham. I went to the kitchen to go grab some food because you guys know me. I like to midnight snack. I went to the kitchen, and I think it was my mom, me. I can't remember if my brother was there, and my dad. My mom and my dad were downstairs. I go to the kitchen. It's night. Not that night, like around 9:10, right? And I look and I see this like, I guess it was kind of a butterfly, but it wanted the light source. So I guess it was a moth, but it was like blue. It was like pastel blue, and it was very shiny, and I got scared. I was like, that's a fucking bug! And I'm get scared of the bug, so I fucking closed my door and I came running. I was like, Mom! I was like, there's a giant bug! But it was the first time I saw something so blue, right? Like hella blue. It was like light blue, but I screamed for my mom. I was like, Mom, there's a fucking bug in the house! I was like, Dad! Someone! My brother, I don't think my brother was there because I was screaming and I went running downstairs after closing the door of my room because my room is right in front of the kitchen and I didn't want it to go inside my room because then it's a shit show to try to kill it, right? So I was just like, Mom! Mom! I'm running downstairs and I said, there's a fucking bug! And I said, it's fucking blue! My mom was like, what the fuck are you talking about? It cannot be blue. And I said, it's fucking blue. And so she went upstairs and she tried to kill it and she said, where is it? And I look around. I don't see it. Dude, mind you, it happened like I went downstairs like 20 seconds, dude. I'm running back up. I searched the whole fucking house. I couldn't find it. And I was like, I swear to fucking God, I saw it. It was blue and it was flying. And it wasn't like small. It was like the size of a fucking hand. I would have seen it fly. And I was like, I got so scared. And we started moving everything to find it. We could not find it. And I even went to look above because we have like a big shelf. And I went to look behind the big shelf. Still not there. To this day, my mom called me crazy. My brother called me crazy. My sister called me crazy. My dad doesn't believe it. Nobody believes me when I said there was a giant blue bug in the fucking house. Nobody fucking believed me. And I swear to God, I saw it. And then my mom was like, well, maybe you saw something, a ghost. Maybe it was like something paranormal that you saw that you cannot explain. Because then after, I went to look at it. I went to look at it on the internet. I was like, blue butterfly. And nothing pops up of like in Canada during fucking winter. Mind you, during winter. It was during winter. That's why I was even more scared of the fucking bug. like, I was just like, this is a fucking blue bug. Can you be as mean to see for not watching as you were to me, Taka? Of course. But I was talking about my blue butterfly, okay? I don't care about Soccer World Cup. I am watching LOLMSI and T. What? I got burp. Was just admitted and I am sad. I don't give a fuck. Why are you talking to something fucking random? I didn't know 3 words in there. Why would I care? I care about the World Cup. I care about Messi. I care about Haaland. I care about Mamouche. I care about Estacio. I don't give a fuck what LOLMSET1 means, dude. Bro's talking about League and Overwatch. Ew, even more if it's League, your team deserves to lose. Get a better team. Get an Overwatch team, dude. Ew, why would you talk about League? See, I didn't even know our shit was League. But I love how everybody's just ignoring my butterfly, man. You're just like my parents. T1 the ring, for all I care. It's like Argentina would get eliminated in the World Cup now. It's as big, but it's not as big. You don't have Messi. Everybody knows Messi. You know Messi. I know Messi. Don't compare it to Messi. And Messi didn't even lose his game today. He popped off with 3 goals in the last 20 minutes. Figures a Messi of LOL. Bro, what planet are you on? Messi didn't lose. Everyone knows Faker. I know Faker. He was in an ad with Aespa Carina. That's how I know Faker. He had a Chinese drama made for him. And I watched the first 2 episodes and then I got fucking triggered and I was like, I'm done watching this shit. The guy was like, you can't be a gamer to the girl because she was a pro gamer. And he said, you can't fucking win with makeup on. Take off your fake eyelashes and take off the fake nails. And she was like, alright. And she took it off. But I was like, what the fuck, motherfucker? She can't fucking game with fucking makeup. What the fuck is your fucking problem? Have you ever worn eyelashes? They don't really get in the way. And she had barely natural makeup. She had like a little bit of blush. I was like, this little piece of shit. I got so angry with that fucking Chinese drama. It had so much potential, but I just got so tilted, man. I was like, no. If Girly Bob wanna wear fucking nail polish, she can wear nail polish. If she wanna be cute, she can be fucking cute. What the fuck is this problem? I got tilted. I'm even more tilted right now. If not bigger than Messi, what are you on? No, I am baiting it. You really are. Leave Messi alone, dude. I don't know who your boy is. Your boy is only famous because he was in a commercial with Karina.
So I had a predictive dream from someone who passed away, who came to me in a dream.
I just got the chills.
I said it. He's only famous because he was with Karina.
A family member who passed away that told me I was gonna have.
He's famous because he's the goat.
boy.
Messi's the goat.
Oh
And it
my
was
god.
exactly
Ronaldo's the
goat.
goat.
Gender before I like got the envelope and like read what the gender was. It
Yeah.
was like a year to the day, which is really freaky.
I remember us talking.
No
about
other
this
players
because
is
I
6
remember
time-
you saying I've had
Who
a
cares?
dream
It's
from
fucking
someone and
league.
they told me what gender my baby will be.
Yeah.
And you
Who
weren't
cares?
even
You're
pregnant
talking-
yet. You weren't like
See,
Yes.
it was
you're talking to the wrong crowd. You're talking to an Overwatch player that doesn't fucking watch League. That doesn't give a fuck about League. I don't really care. Like, not even a secret, dude. I genuinely do not care. He takes Messi by a walk. See, I know Messi. Like, I know Messi. I barely know Faker. I told you, I know him because he was in this commercial with Karina. And I don't know why you're trying to push the narrative that Faker is famous in this Overwatch chat. You know, I could have you banned for talking about League in my chat because we don't stand Riot. We stand Overwatch. Bro doesn't know Aslan Ash or Minar RD. I don't. What? You know Karina because she was in a commercial with Faker. No, I know Karina because I know Karina before I knew Faker. See, now you guys are gonna fight about three fucking random people that I do not watch because I don't play League. Not a single bit interested in League. So you guys are gonna fight and you guys are gonna get angry with each other. And then you guys are gonna start shitting on each other. And then you guys are gonna be like, I'm not watching Taka stream anymore because I'm fighting with this guy because he said this guy's better than this guy. And then when that happens, then you're gonna get angry and I won't be able to be like, oh well, maybe he didn't mean it. No, I won't be able to do that. You guys are on your own. If you pick a fight with each other, then you pick a fight with each other. I am not responsible of that fight. I told you before, and I think they all suck. And I can't believe you tried to compare that guy to Messi. But I'm just an Overwatch player that just plays Overwatch. So whatever happens here is on you. I have nothing to do about this. Does not concern me. This has nothing to do with me. Those guys said weren't from League. They were from fighting games. Now we talk out here. Compare Faker to Messi is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Just because he doesn't like football doesn't mean that he's more famous. Wasn't Haaland that made a video with Jisoo? No, this had no chance against Joichi and Sun. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't even watch FIFA, but even I know that's insane. That's insane. You're just asking to be beat up by the internet. You're just asking to be beat up. I said it. Alright, now it's the Sparkle.
So early on, and you're like, I guess I'll see if it's true once it happens. And here you are now having what they said.
Oh boy, yeah, exactly. And then the night before, so because I left the envelope in the car, and I had the dream a year before, and then we were gonna just do a little gender reveal in our apartment. And the night before we did that, I had a dream that Matt couldn't wait. So he broke into my car to get the envelope out and opened it. And
oh my gosh.
confirmed that it was a boy.
That is absolutely, that's a remarkable dream to have.
It's not the same splatter.
It was really cool. And yeah, for it to be, a visitation dream and a predictive future dream.
That's incredible.
It was really interesting.
Insane.
Really,
wow.
Really wild. Yeah, I think people are just tapped into stuff. And I think when you dream, you just can kind of plug into something that we don't have access to when we're awake.
I feel like we're more accessible for spirits as well.
Yeah.
There's something about dreaming. We're not awake. We're not dead. Like it feels like such a limbo state to me.
Yeah.
Where it feels like we're easier to reach.
Yes.
And that's why I think sleep paralysis, I think it is like something.
I know.
I think it's a demon.
We talk about sleep paralysis so much. I think I just like talking about it.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I do. I've had it since college and like absolutely. I remember I had this one really scary episode of sleep paralysis where I always got like a really bad vibe from like one of the crawl spaces in our house in Austin when we lived there.
Oh, wow.
And one night Matt had a cold, so I went and I slept up in the guest bed and I had the truly most harrowing
doesn't compare, right?
I've ever had, where I woke up and Gordy was in my arms, which he wasn't. Like Gordy's in the other room, but I wake up and like Gordy, my stuffed haunted monkey doll, is.
I'm not falling for the rage bait. You keep saying people that I do not know, and if I do not know them, how can they be the GOAT? Because the GOAT is known by people that don't even know them, that don't even follow them. That's the GOAT. You just know them. They're so famous that you just end up knowing the name, but now you're just saying fucking random names. You don't know fighting games. I don't need to know fighting games. Look at Siggy's. He doesn't even watch football, and he knows Messi. That's the power of the GOAT. You don't even need to watch the sport to know who it is. You don't even need to know who the fuck that is. You just know. You just see him on TV. If you need to be specific about who he fucking is, then he's not the fucking GOAT. It's like if I said, you know Ronaldo, you know who the fuck that is. You cannot lie to me, you know who that is. You don't even need to watch football to know who that is. It's like I said, LeBron James. You don't even need to watch fucking basketball to know who that is. Kawhi Leonard, do you know who that is? My niece, who knows who Faker is, she just watched a game with me. Who's LeBron James? LeBron James! It's okay, you know what? I can kind of give it to you, but you probably know Michael Jordan. You probably know Michael Jordan. You probably know Michael Jordan. So see, he's the real GOAT here. Who's this kawaii shit? Whoa! Whoa! What's your language? See? So you don't know who that is. So all the people you just named, I don't know who they are. So they're not the GOAT. Because you don't know who that is. Now let me watch a cursed church camp on every ranch in the deep woods.
In my arms, just and his head slowly
Can't find the
turns
right
to me,
splatter shape.
and then his eyes just melt off of his face.
And you still kept him.
And I kept him because I don't think that was really Gordy. In my heart, I'm like, yes, we've had so much
When you
ghosting activity
actually-
with Gordy, but I in my heart I believe he's good. Like, look at him.
When you actually woke up, was he in your arms?
No, he was still in the other room.
Okay. But this is the same house where you thought your dog got out of the crate.
Yes.
And you heard stuff running around upstairs.
Yes,
But
after I-
nothing was up there except Gordy, right?
After I got Gordy, I put him in the studio, and we also got the puppy at the same time. We got young Fitzgerald at the same time, and Fitzgerald is and was a menace. And so we would hear like galloping upstairs, and Matt would be like, "Where's the dog?" And so I'd run upstairs to be like, "Oh, the dog got upstairs. He wasn't supposed to be up there on his own. He was just a puppy. He peed everywhere." So I would like run to go get him, and I get up to the studio. Fitzgerald's not there, but Gordy is just looking right at me. So I don't know what is in Gordy. It's
Has
either
it been
like
tame at your new spot?
so tame.
So maybe it was the house possessing Gordy.
I think it was something about the upstairs of that house.
Possessing the
The
dog.
upstairs was also an addition. It was built like 40 years after the house was built. So there was just something about the upstairs that was off.
I know. Gosh. If only walls could speak.
I know. But sometimes you can get a person who can come in and kind of like
I think this
Uh-huh.
get a
looks pretty
sense of
accurate to the
area and
t-shirt.
tell you what
No?
it's trying to
That's
say.
what I need. So if
They're
anyone
more
out
sharp.
there
This one's
has
more
the
like
ability to
round,
tune in,
but
please come walk through my new house with me and help me figure out how to bless it.
I haven't even really asked that of the community. Like, I know we have people in the community that are really tapped into stuff, and I've had community members like I posted. So see that doll back there? So I'll put up a picture of it. But my grandma, one year for Christmas, she like sent me that doll. She's like, I found this in my
scared.
basement.
I think it's okay.
Oh my gosh.
So she sent it to me, and I posted a picture of it. And one listener was like, "Dude, I'm getting really, really, really horrible. Like, I'm really plugged into this stuff. Like, I'm getting a really bad read from that doll." And I was like,
Oh,
yeah. So
no.
I kind of keep her over there. We haven't
Yeah,
had
not in
any
your house
issues,
anymore.
But I'm so curious. I know, not in my house. In the studio is fine as long as she doesn't like unplug the equipment and stuff. But yeah, listeners that are plugged into that stuff, hit me up.
There's
Let me know. We can
there's-
FaceTime. I'll show you like certain areas of my house, and you can tell me if it's haunted.
Yeah, I would also
Why would
sign
you do
me up.
that?
Maybe we
I don't
you know,
even
two
do that
birds,
with you
one
guys.
stone.
Yeah.
But I think dolls are something that are really they seem easy to haunt. I mean, obviously we have Annabelle from The
Annabelle.
Conjuring where that's
Yeah.
based on a real story, but I saw a video lately of a woman who like got these dolls from a garage sale and like felt that they were haunted, and so she was getting them.
That's
back
one thing
to
I
the
would
right
never fucking buy, a
culture so the
fucking used
culture
doll.
could
Yeah.
take care of the dolls
Stay
in the way
away
that
from
they
that.
want. But it's just, I think dolls are one of those things that are so, if a spirit gets into it, it feels so powerful.
Yeah, I think Gordy's culture is like, well, hers for sure is like ill Victorian children. So I don't know how I would return her, but Gordy's just, I don't know, Texas, little kids in Texas.
Yeah.
Where he came from. All right, I want to read you this next one that
Okay.
I found from a listener.
I'm ready.
It also made me stop in my tracks and kind of led me down a rabbit hole that I want to tell you about.
Oh gosh.
And I hope, I'm curious if I teach this listener anything from like
See,
what I-
because of
what I
see, we're
know.
no longer
just a
scared
heads
now.
up,
The
this one
scare
has
is
a little
gone.
bit
We
of
were in the vibe. We were
animal abuse,
scared.
like animal gore. So this
Now I put
story
my feet down.
is titled Hide and Seek. And it comes
No longer
from
scared.
Valentina. And it goes, Hi, I'm Valentina. This story comes all the way from Argentina, so I apologize in advance for any typos. English is not my first language. I've always lived in the city. I was born and
I was
raised
hiding
here,
under my
but part of
blankies.
my
Now the
extended
blankies
family
out.
lives deep in the countryside. There are no forests or mountains there, just flat plains with some low hills and endless grass. When I was 8 years old, I traveled there for a week during midsummer with my grandparents and other relatives. Their land was divided into 3 distinct areas: a creek that ran through the property, my family's house, which was surrounded by animal pens and had a massive 7-meter high shed for machinery attached to it, and finally, just a few meters from the main entrance, the original owner's house. It was a 4-bedroom house with high ceilings, beautifully enclosed by hundreds of tall pine trees. It was very secluded, but not too far from my family's home. On the second to last day of our stay, my family and I went to the creek to cool off because the heat was unbearable. We walked several meters along the bank until we stopped dead in our tracks. A foul, horrific stench filled the air. There, under a tree by the water's edge, lay a cow. It
Oh, I think I
was
nailed it.
mutilated from its legs up to its
Sorry.
back with deep gashes as if it had been hunted by something. The adults claimed that another animal had caused its death, but they didn't sound convinced. I suspected they only said it to us children so that we wouldn't be scared. There were no predators in that area capable of inflicting such large, deep wounds. When
No,
night
you don't think I
fell,
get
we
it?
children decided to play hide and seek in the pitch black darkness of the fields, trying to act brave. The rules were simple. One person counted and the others hid. We weren't allowed to go past the fences surrounding the house, and we strictly could not go near the big pine trees of the big house, as it was too easy to get lost or hurt among the trees in the dark. I had the misfortune of losing a round, so I had to count to 100. I didn't realize how dark it was until I finished counting and had to start searching. Moving away from the only porch light was easy at first, but after 15 minutes, I was still missing 2 people. My cousin, who had already been found, started helping me because I was the youngest and I was struggling. We searched for over a half hour. Eventually, we started shouting that we were bored, and if they didn't come out, we would just leave them out there alone. Right then, a loud, heavy thud came from the trees of the big house. We yelled again, reminding them that hiding there was against the rules, but there was no answer. Only another thud, just as loud as the first. We slowly approached, terrified as the moonlight
You will
only
never
allowed
find me
us to
playing
see
that
the
game.
dark silhouettes of the pines. Suddenly, from behind us,
I think I played it when
the
I
2
was
missing
young.
kids
That was
shouted,
it.
"We won, you didn't find us." My oldest cousin asked, "Where were you?" And they started laughing, replying, "We were under the truck the whole time." Everyone turned around and ran back to the house for dinner, but before following them, I couldn't help but glance at the trees one last time. In the shadows, I vaguely made out a strange figure moving quickly toward the back of the grove. I ran inside and tried to explain what I had seen, but nobody believed me. They told me I was just imagining things because I was scared, and they insisted I eat before my food got cold. I didn't bring it up again. After midnight, we all went to bed. I slept in my cousin's room with the other small children. The window faced the wooded area of the big house, about the distance of 5 parked trucks away. I fell asleep quickly from exhaustion, but we were soon jolted awake by the youngest child's frantic crying. He was calling for his mother in desperation, staring fixedly at the window. I sat up terrified and looked in the same direction.
Oh my
There, at the top of one of the trees,
god. Oh my
sat
god.
someone. It looked like a woman, but her body was distorted, too small for the size of her head, with incredibly
What
long
game?
white hair. She was
The game that the kids were playing, hide and seek. Hide and seek is stupid. Like every ghost hunting like movie or like every weird shit that happens in the movies because of that stupid game. You don't play that unless you want to get fucking cursed. I said it. Just don't play it. If you don't play it, you're safe. You won't die. I think my Sojourn looks kind of cool. No? It doesn't like it needs like a bunch of rendering, but I'm like, if I need to do this for a bunch of heroes, I don't want to do the rendering. I'm just gonna leave it like
just
that.
sitting there, staring in our direction.
He's gonna hate.
The only thing moving was her hair in the wind.
He's gonna
Her
fucking hate.
face was unreadable from that distance, but she did not look happy. Less than 5 seconds later, my aunts and grandparents burst into the room, alerted by the screaming. They found half of us paralyzed with fear and the other half grumpy from being woken up. I didn't know how to explain what I saw to them so they would believe me. I just started crying and I begged my grandparents to let me sleep with them. Spent the rest of the night squeezed between them, unable to close my eyes, consumed by terror. The next morning, no one asked any questions. To the adults, it was just kids being afraid of the dark. We packed our bags and left for home. I haven't returned to that field since. I was 8 then, and I'm 21 now. I can still recall the sensation of knowing that woman was there, even when I couldn't see her. I knew that she was waiting for someone to look at her again.
Oh my gosh.
Scary.
Ooh.
At first, I'm like, okay, animals, like a big cat could have pulled
Yeah.
like a smaller animal, not a cow, but like a smaller animal into a tree and it fell for the thud. But the minute I hear woman,
Yeah.
gray hair blowing in the wind, no.
So I looked it up because I had heard about, I just wanted to look up like cow mutilation, Argentina, just kind of like figure out what was going
What's
on.
the lore?
And what I found was that Argentina has had an issue with very strange, unexplainable cow mutilations for a very long time. So this was an article that I found. This one is from June 4th of 2025, but it reads,
Oh,
quote,
so recent.
an Argentine rancher was left scratching his head after one of his cows was mysteriously slain in a manner that bore the hallmarks of the infamous cattle mutilation phenomenon. According to a local media report, the downed animal was found on Monday morning in the community of Centelon. Nelson Biordo recalled how he was alerted to the strange situation by a farmhand who stumbled upon the dead cow and marveled to him that it appeared as if something had tried to, quote, rip its face off. When
Jesus.
the rancher went out to investigate, he was shaken and mystified by what he saw. And there was a picture included that I saw. I'm not going to show it to people because it's pretty intense, but it doesn't look like anything an animal would do.
Okay.
But it's like as if someone took the skin all off here. So you can see the teeth.
Ew.
It's like something ripped off, but it's really clean and like surgically precise almost.
Okay.
As if someone just ripped off the skin from the face. Now, a predator wouldn't necessarily do that. It doesn't look like something was trying to eat the cow.
That's the thing. I'm not an animal expert by any means, but like you watch things like Planet Earth, little David Attenborough, you know, and it's
Yeah.
if an animal is going to take down a cow, like you think most of it then would be eaten.
Yes.
And there's other animals, like sometimes cows will, you know, defend, or like a donkey or a llama are really like protectors of a herd. That's why they'll often have them mixed in. They're guardian animals.
Yeah.
But if it's gone, you know, a donkey's going to then stick with the rest of the herd, and it's so interesting.
Oh yeah, that is interesting.
I don't know. I need animal experts to chime in, but
I know. I found another article too from 2002 where there were 200 cattle, 1 horse, and a handful of sheep slain with surgical accuracy. That comes from this article.
Barry, I
Was it
love
at
playing
the
hide
same
and seek.
farm?
It
Yeah,
was
I
not.
hate
This
that.
one
That's
was
how you get cursed, motherfucker.
in La Pampa and
That's
also
actually how you get
Buenos
cursed.
Aires. But according to witnesses, mostly local farmers, the mutilated cattle were found lying dead in pastures with only some parts missing. Some witnesses maintain that the animals were found without a trace of blood around them. Authorities investigating the incidents say, however, they did find some blood near the scene of the slayings. And so
It's like, what's going to take down a whole cow, but yet not really leave any evidence of it?
people immediately, so this is funny, the article goes on to say, some Argentines believe that the animals were slaughtered by extraterrestrials
Good morning,
or
Jessica. Hi, Griffin.
those entranced by a passing UFO.
How are you?
Others say that the slayings were the handiwork of chupacabras, a mythical
Give me a
beast
second.
that is half bat and half kangaroo with razor-like claws capable of dissecting the cows with pinpoint precision. Very, very, like tons of chupacabra lore
Wow.
in that part of the world too. And then others think the whole bovine mystery is an attempt by the government to distract Argentines from the country's ongoing economic collapse.
You know, conspiracy theories sometimes
Sometimes there's a thread of
there's
truth in
something there. That is fascinating.
Yeah, so I just thought that was interesting that she also, like, who even knows if that's related to this other thing that she saw in the tree, because that's really scary. But the fact that she also stumbled upon one of these, like, very mysteriously butchered cows. which
Within
is
such a close
problem.
time span.
Yeah.
It does. It feels like it would then be connected.
I'm so curious about the cow mutilations, because I know there was also an issue in Wyoming maybe, I don't know if we have any experts in this in the audience. Like parts of America too have had these like really mysterious cow mutilation cases where people are like, is it UFOs? Is it aliens? What are they do? Are they taking
Yeah.
samples?
The only thing that's like kind of pinging for me is marine biologists were discovering sharks, that the sharks were missing like an organ and it was taken out with such precise surgical like technique almost. And they started to put it together that it was actually dolphins doing it.
Dolphins are organ harvesting sharks. Is there like a black market?
We
in the
should probably
ocean
Google
for-
this. We should Google
I'm
this
back.
before
I can get on the
before
fact
I
check.
lead people astray. But I'm pretty sure like
Dolphins are low key evil though.
I didn't realize dolphins and like orcas, like killer whales, they will like mess with little penguins just for
I'm
sport.
back. Had to step away.
I have a hard time.
Me
watching
too.
killer
I
whale
had
videos.
to go
I've
talk to
seen
my
a lot of
sister.
Planet
I don't know
Earth
what happened.
lately.
Okay, I see. What happened? Question mark.
Toilet
Scientists solved
emergency.
mystery of 15-foot white shark missing its liver.
Nobody knows what happened.
Was it the
And
dolphin?
let's see.
Welcome back, baby.
DNA
Thank
evidence has confirmed that killer whales in Australia hunted a white shark for its liver, marking the first recorded case in the region. The carcass discovered in Victoria showed
Is that
telltale
real,
bite
Swiggy?
wounds with genetic
How good
analysis
that
linking
works.
the attack to killer whales.
Have a talk.
There's something else that I've seen where it's like dolphins are being a little crazy, but killer whales, I'm telling
Killer
you, man,
whales just taking the liver.
just the liver. And there was something about it. So I'm like, that's where I'm like, okay, maybe if there's like one common thing in this
She said thank you, Kev.
cow necropsy,
What
where
about-
like we can kind of like see like,
Yeah.
oh, it's just the cow's liver, it's just a kidney. I'm like,
She said thank
maybe
you.
there's an animal out there that just has a taste for that delicacy.
It does kind of look like it. Like, so the quote, these findings provide compelling evidence of killer whale predation on white sharks in Australian waters with a strong indication of selective liver consumption. Like it might just be a palate thing for them.
But they were so confused. They're like, why wouldn't the whole shark be gone? It's just the
course.
liver.
That's
That
fucked
is
up.
blowing my mind. This is
You've
a
got
rabbit hole
fucked
I'm
up
gonna dive
whales,
into
shark
later.
in
Just wait till you learn
Australia,
that killer
sweetie.
whales are teaching other killer whales to attack boats.
Yeah, I was whale
This is
culture.
fucked
Like
up.
whale culture is a thing where like how humans have culture. Whales are like the only other species that have culture. So every few
So nobody
years,
wants to
the
go to Australia.
headline pops up that
Fucked up shit like
about
that.
the salmon hats, like killer whales wearing salmon hats, and like scientists couldn't
Nobody
figure out
wanna
why,
go
but
there.
it was like a thing they also did in the 80s, and then they started
Sounds
doing
scary.
it again recently. And it's because killer whales, again, I'm gonna have to fact check all of this, but from what I saw, killer whales, it's mostly the grandmas that teach young kids things. So, but like these whales are so smart that they remember things, so they'll learn how to kill a stingray by flipping it upside down. And then they'll teach the young whales that, but it's only that pod of whales that does it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not similar of any other species on the earth except for humans. But they're just so smart.
That's amazing.
So
That's
smart and like
crazy.
kind of evil, apparently.
Oh, I know.
Which
Oh
is
my
like
gosh.
maybe a bad combo.
No, I'm fascinated by this cow lore now, though. I'm like, this is wild.
Cow lore and killer whale lore, adding it to the episode list. Cause like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that one freaked me out. The stuff, I don't know. Like the woman sitting in the tree. I don't know. What was it? Sound
It's-
off in the comments.
It's something. It's definitely something.
Is that the end of the podcast?
All right. Do you want to read the next one you have?
Yes. Okay, this one is Backwoods Encounter coming from Sage. Hey, Kaylin, Happy New Year and congratulations on the new baby.
Oh, thank you.
I also have an early January birthday.
Okay, Capricorn.
Hey. As a fellow fan of cryptids, ghost stories, and how history can
Are the
haunt
shoes
present,
okay?
I've enjoyed your
Do they look
podcast for
okay?
a while and finally decided to pass along an experience that happened to me several years ago. Perhaps it can be included in a future episode of spooky/unknown encounters from the woods. My mother was born and raised in Michigan, so I've gone there to visit family and
Michigan.
friends ever since I was little. In July,
Sounds like a good place to
2017,
be go
my mom took my
to be
two younger
haunted,
sisters and I to visit
Michigan.
family friends in a new home. They had moved further north in Michigan. Their new house was isolated. No neighbors nearby, unreliable Wi-Fi, and woods stretching as far as you could see. The surroundings were beautiful, but we were truly in the middle of nowhere. For reference, I grew up in and currently live in the heart of a decent-sized city. While I love the woods, I don't like being in them once it gets dark. The people we were visiting, a husband and wife who were good friends with my mom, lived in the main house. Also on the property was a smaller building that they had renovated into a guest house. My family and I were the first ones to stay there. It was connected to the main house via a path through the woods, but the trees were so thick that you couldn't see one from the other, even at night when the lights were on.
I think I
My
fucked
mom
up
and
the
I were
night
staying in
here,
one
but
room.
it's too late. I
My
already
sisters
committed.
would share another just down the hall. The guest house had large windows around most of the building. None of the windows had curtains. This made all 4 of us a bit uneasy. In the city,
No curtains
everyone
is
knows
crazy.
to close your curtains before it gets dark. Here, once the lights were on at night, it felt like we were on full display to whatever or whoever might be out in the woods. There weren't any locks on the doors beyond a tiny pin lock, which of course wouldn't do much. For someone who grew up being taught the importance of locking your doors, this made me even more uneasy. That first night, long after we had all gone to bed, I woke up to a strange sound. I'm a light sleeper, but it took several moments for me to realize I wasn't
That's just
dreaming.
weird.
What I heard is hard to describe. A terrible, loud cry, half bellow and half chant, that didn't sound like a true language. I remember laying there, frozen
no.
in fearful
She
confusion,
had a fucking
and trying
cold
to shake
with her.
off the haze of sleep, listening to something absolutely foreign and utterly inhuman that seemed to be getting louder and nearer every moment. Without warning, beneath the sheets, I felt my mom's hand wrap around mine. She didn't move, and neither did I. But through the darkness, she spoke 4 brief words. I hear it too. Together, we laid there. I remember daring only to move my eyes, convinced that I'd soon see something enormous and feral on the other side of those huge,
Oh my
curtainless
god.
windows. What I expected to see, I had no idea, but something was certainly out there. The closest comparison for the sound I can think of is heavy metal music. The guttural, harsh vocals, which to the untrained ear often seem like they aren't actually using a real language. In all honesty, though, I am a huge fan of metal and rock, so I'm no stranger to the crazy, inhuman sounds. What I heard that July night was unlike any band I'd ever played, and it was so loud. Time didn't seem to exist as we listened and waited. Eventually, the terrible sound started to fade as if it was moving away. In a burst of bravery, I hopped out of bed and hurried to the front door to make sure the little pin lock was secured. Even then, I knew it was such a silly thing to do. If some sort of Bigfoot or other creature was out there, that pin lock wouldn't have done much. The city girl in me was so accustomed to always locking your doors and locking your car that it felt instinctive, like I had a veneer of protection. After scurrying back to bed, I realized my 2 sisters were still sleeping just a few yards away in another room. Had they heard whatever my mom and I did, they would have come tearing down the hall into our room. The fact that neither had awoken was unsettling, to say the least. I have no idea what time of night it was. As I was just drifting back to sleep, I heard the guttural cries again, much fainter and further away. Thankfully, after that brief reoccurrence, I slept until morning. I remember being so relieved to see daylight. The woods feel much less intimidating when the sun is out and the sky is blue. My sisters made no mention of hearing anything sinister during the night. My mom and I made a tacit agreement to not bring it up and frighten them. After all, we were staying there a few more nights.
Oh
Later,
god.
we went to the main house for breakfast. I remember discreetly asking the couple who lived there if they had heard anything at all. Neither had. That sound never reappeared during the rest of our visit, but I have never forgotten it, nor will I
Oh
ever
my
forget how
God.
frightened I was at the sheer
Someone's lying.
magnitude
Someone heard
of
it too.
unfamiliarity of such a roar. I still remember my mom's hand finding mine under the covers that night and how her voice sounded when she said she could hear it too. For some reason, only she and I were able to hear whatever was out there that night, even though there were 4 other people nearby who should have been able to. Several years have passed since then. I've shared that experience with a handful of people, all of whom have been equal parts frightened and puzzled about the sound's source. Back home in the city, I've tried to rationalize what I heard. Still, out there in the depths of Michigan's woods, I truly wonder if it could have been a Bigfoot or some similar creature. I've been fascinated by cryptids since I was a child. It's one thing to be thrilled and intrigued by such tales from the safety and familiarity of home. It's quite another to be faced with the possibility of something unknown and ominous right outside your door. What do you think it could have been? Has anyone else ever experienced something similar in the wilderness of Michigan?
Whoa.
We can
I mean,
ask
you're from the
TNT if
Midwest. What's
TNT
out there?
experienced that.
Minnesota,
He's in
man,
Michigan.
we're basically neighbors. There's a lot of legends. I had a friend's cabin I went to one night, and he was like, if you ever hear drums outside, make sure you get back. Like, I think drums was a common thing in northern Minnesota.
Interesting. Kind of reminds me of the night marchers in Hawaii.
Oh,
Yeah, the night marchers in Hawaii are, we talk about them in an episode, I'll link it in the description, but they're the spirits of old soldiers of the Hawaiian tribes when it was tribal soldiers. And so
I'm
at
gonna
night, if you're like camping near the beach or just out in the near the woods, whatever, you'll see kind of a
So what are
line
we
of
thinking,
lights, and it's
guys?
their
Is this
torches,
enough?
and you'll
Wow.
start hearing the drums.
How's this Sojourn FIFA skin? I think it's okay. I like it. Simple. It's Team Canada. It looks cool. Yeah. So that's a VOD for the YouTube. The whole drawing part of drawing Sojourn. No, it looks bad. Oh, Canada? You say it looks bad? No. That's okay, I guess. Oh, Overwatch. I got logged out from Overwatch. Oh. So evil, Kev. So evil. Maybe you deserve to get hunted. Maybe you deserve to be hunted, man. I'm gonna say it. I think if we were to add something to this, I don't know if Sojourn would be the type to have like something in her hair. Waking up to horror story, this is just what I needed. Speed running nightmares. Don't say that. My dog is so cute. I think Sojourn will not be the type to have something in her hair, but because it is Team Canada, maybe she would like to have something in her hair. I'm guessing a little like something red for Team Canada, right? Overwatch couldn't give the characters a FIFA jersey, but I could. I can do it for them. For free. Oops, I just have to copy this color here. Maybe we can make it so I don't know if I like it. Do you guys like it? Is it too red? Maybe we tone down the red. Yeah, I think toning down the red is better. There we go. It's actually she has like those big hair ties. I love those giant hair ties. So Sojourn is done. 1 out of 32 done. 1 out of 32 done. I think for the others, we just need the t-shirt, huh? I don't think we need the full pants. one. So what do you think, Cyber? Do we like it? I think we like it. RIP Team Canada though. This could have been Farah. We still have